Hello viewers, welcome to the Big Man Business YouTube channel. Here is another highly informative video. In this video, we're going to be talking about Trinidad and Tobago's top import and exports. Trinidad and Tobago has one of Latin America's highest per capita incomes. The country is a major supplier of liquid natural gas to the United States, as well as the world's largest exporter of methanol and ammonia. The country's impressive economic performance came to a halt in 2009 when the economy entered a recession as a result of a drop in oil prices. Since then, the economy has experienced several years of subpar growth, with performance hampered significantly by supply constraints. The number of unemployed people is higher than it should be due to a variety of structural factors. Other challenges include the energy sector's high capital intensity, skill mismatches, and labor market rigidities that limit wage flexibility. Trinidad and Tobago experienced another year of slow growth in 2016. Real GDP growth fell by 2.8% in 2016 after increasing by 1% in 2015. Recovery is expected in 2017, with a growth of 2.3%, owing in part to higher energy prices. Low energy prices had constrained government spending and sharply reduced growth rates. Their commodity exports had also declined. Slow wage and household income growth are limiting consumer spending. Another issue is the depletion of natural gas reserves. If you're new to the Big Man Business YouTube channel, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell to receive updates on new business expert videos. For more international business news and updates, please visit www.bigmanbusiness.com. The real value of private final consumption increased by 1.5% in 2015, but is expected to fall by 2.3% in 2016. Wage and household income growth has slowed significantly. Furthermore, in 2016, a highly unpopular value-added tax on many previously untaxed items, including basic foods, was imposed. Following a long period of healthy current account surpluses, the surplus fell to 0.7% of GDP in 2015. In 2016, a deficit of 0.8% of GDP is expected. A fiscal consolidation process may soon become necessary. Trinidad and Tobago is the CBATO region's largest export market and the region's fourth largest overall. Exports of consumer-oriented food products in the United States fell 7% to $220 million in 2016 from the previous year. Total agricultural exports from the United States fell 9% to $349.4 million. Consumer-oriented exports accounted for 63% of total agricultural exports. In 2016, U.S. processed food exports to the market totaled $192.8 million, a 1% decrease but the highest total in the CBATO region. Food preparations, non-alcoholic beverages, processed or prepared dairy products, fats and oils, snack foods, prepared or preserved meats, chocolate and confectionery, and pasta and processed cereals were among the top processed food products exported from the United States to Trinidad and Tobago in 2016. There are numerous benefits for U.S. exporters in the Trinidad and Tobago market. Due to limited agricultural production, Trinidad and Tobago must import the majority of its food. The United States is the leading supplier of imported consumer-oriented foods to Trinidad and Tobago, with a 44% market share that dwarfs all other competitors. Exposure to U.S. media, as well as language, cultural, and commercial ties with the U.S., all contribute to consumers favoring U.S. products. At the moment, the regulatory environment is fairly open to U.S. products. Proximity is a huge benefit. U.S. exporters, particularly South Florida consolidators, service the market extremely well and are, in many ways, better positioned to supply Trinidad and Tobago than competitors. Market challenges exist and come from both within and outside the market. Despite its domestic agricultural limitations, Trinidad and Tobago has a thriving food processing sector. Local Trindad and Tobago suppliers of wheat flour, poultry, pork, beverages, snacks, biscuits, sauces, and other processed products will compete with U.S. suppliers. Many major U.S. brands are already available through local importers or distributors. New products may find it difficult to compete with these brands and to find an importer who does not carry competing brands. The 2008 trade agreement between the Caribbean and the European Union paved the way for increased European competition. Trinidad and Tobago, as a CARICOM member, provides duty-free access to other CARICOM members. This has a positive effect on the price appeal of regional goods that may compete with U.S. products in certain categories. Although Trinidad and Tobago is one of the Caribbean's largest markets, individual orders are typically small and favor mixed rather than full container loads. Exports of agricultural and food products from the United States fell slightly in 2016 as foreign exchange supplies tightened and consumer spending became more frugal. In these lean times, U.S. suppliers are also more likely to face competitive pressure. New Zealand, the world's second largest importer, is competitive in dairy and lamb. Canada, which ranks third overall, has a relatively strong presence in many branded products, seafood, potato products, and pork. Europe competes in the market as well, particularly with branded goods and dairy. Costa Rica has also begun to make inroads into the market, particularly in the produce sector. Suppliers from the United States face competition both within Trinidad and Tobago and from neighboring Caribbean islands. As previously stated, Trinidad and Tobago has a fairly developed food processing industry, and a wide range of consumer-oriented food and beverage products are available locally. Barbadian and Jamaican products are particularly popular in Trinidad and Tobago. Local and regional suppliers are frequently more adept at catering to the market's distinct Trini palate, which is influenced by a variety of ethnic groups. Trinidad and Tobago's top 10 exports. The Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, a Caribbean twin island country of South America's northern coast, shipped an estimated $6.7 billion in goods around the world in 2020. This figure represents a minus 22.2% decrease since 2016 and a minus 38.9% decrease from 2019 to 2020. According to the most recent available country-specific data from 2015, 76.2% of Trinidad and Tobago's exports were purchased by importers in the following countries: the United States of America with 41.7% of the global total, Argentina with 6.8%, Colombia with 4.1%, Peru with 3.9%, Chile with 3.6%, Spain with 3%, Jamaica with 2.9%, Brazil with 2.3%, France with 2.2%, Guyana with 2%, the United Kingdom with 1.9%, and Norway with 1.8%. Given the Caribbean nation's 1.4 million population, Trinidad and Tobago's total $6.7 billion in 2020 exports equates to approximately $4,800 for each resident. This figure is down from $6,600 per person a year ago. The export product groups listed below have the highest dollar value in Trinidadian Tobagonian global shipments in 2020. The percentage share of each export category in terms of total Trinidad and Tobago exports is also shown. Mineral fuels, including oil, are worth $3.4 billion, accounting for 50.1% of total exports. $1.1 billion for organic chemicals at 16.2%. $842.1 million for inorganic chemicals at 12.5%. $492.8 million for iron and steel at 7.3%. $378.2 million for fertilizers at 5.6%. $53 million in beverages, spirits, and vinegar at 0.8%. $50.7 million for machinery, including computers at 0.8%. $44 million for miscellaneous food preparations at 0.7%. $33.5 million for fish at 0.5%. Iron or steel articles with $33.2 million at 0.5%. The top 10 exports from Trinidad and Tobago are highly concentrated, accounting for 94.9% of the total value of its global shipments. Among the top 10 export categories, there were two gainers from 2019 to 2020. Fish went up by 16.7% and miscellaneous food preparations up by 4.6%. Machinery, including computers, was the leading decliner among Trinidad and Tobago's top 10 export categories, falling by -85% year-on-year. In terms of macroeconomics, Trinidad and Tobago's total exported goods account for 19.2% of its overall GDP in 2020, valued at $35 billion in purchasing power parity US dollars. In 2020, exports will account for 19.2% of total GDP in PPP terms, compared to 20.3% in 2019. Those percentages indicate a decreasing reliance on products sold in international markets for Trinidad and Tobago's total economic performance, albeit over a short time frame. The unemployment rate is another important indicator of a country's economic performance. According to Trading Economics, the unemployment rate in Trinidad and Tobago is expected to be 5.8% in January 2021, up from 4.4% in July 2019. The capital city of Trinidad and Tobago is Port of Spain, which also serves as the country's largest cargo port. Thanks for watching this video. We are open to suggestions. Kindly drop your comments in the comment box and don't forget to subscribe to the Big Man Business YouTube channel. See you in the next video.